Welcome to the next episode of WaterparkRangers Let's Play Wind Waker. Last episode, we were heading across a few islands at the bottom of the ocean, in other words, like the southern part of the ocean, heading west towards Outset Island. Now, I'm going to reveal my magic here, just in case we need to use any of it up ahead, because you noticed that we were kind of running low on it, and we did have a green potion that we got for free once we turned in the green choo-choos to the potion shop in Windfall Island, so I figured, why not? Anyway, we want the wind to be blowing west here to head us to the next island. These are all new islands that we have not explored yet. The boating course was done last episode, and we needed to change the wind because we did use the wind to get to a certain part of the island, and that is not the direction we need to be heading in. So I'm going to cut ahead when we get to that small island up ahead right there. Okay, we're in the new quadrant. This one, I believe we have a chart that corresponds to, but before we do that, have a look at the submarine chart. We've actually encountered quite a few submarines already. I think we've already found 3. And we're probably going to find one more before we get to Outset. Oh, you sharks, that's not good. Those things might give us a hard time, especially when we're pulling up treasure. That's never a good combination. Okay, alright, the treasure's right there. And it is not a money reward, if I remember correctly, so we should be able to take it, even though our wallet's full. You can take rupees even when you have a full wallet. I know in Twilight Princess you were forced to put it back, which is a mechanic that everyone hates. But I guess it kind of saves money. But anyway, back to Wind Waker subject. Oh, wait! Oh, crap, we passed right over... Oh, no! We passed right over the treasure. That's not good. But what I'm saying is you can grab the money. The problem is it just won't count towards your money value. Oh, and... Oh, this is not good. They're, like, crashing into our boat. And do not get bit by a guy orc in the water. That was close. Did you see that sick water dodge? Of course, it might have been a better idea to dodge closer to the boat. Wow, this might just be slightly annoying. We are, like, totally surrounded by these sharks. I think there's, like, 5 of them. Oh, no. We're gonna get hit again. I knew it. Okay, I think we're on top of the treasure, though, so if we're fast, we can get it. If we're really fast, we can get it. Alright, let's do this. Before a shark crashes into us again. Yeah, that's right. Alright, that should do it. Here's our treasure. I should mention this. It's a very, very little known thing about Wind Waker. In fact, I think I might be one of the only people who knows this. Please respond if this has happened to you. But there is the chance that when you're trying to pull up treasure, that Link will fail to pull up treasure and instead pull up something really strange instead. Okay, I'm just going to stop getting killed by these sharks for a second and head off to just a different part of the oceans so they will stop attacking me. And then I can continue talking about what I was going to talk about, which was... Oh yeah, the special thing you get when you mistakenly pull up something else instead of a treasure chart. I mean, a treasure chest. Basically what happened is I was trying to pull up a treasure at an island called Southern Triangle Island. And when I thought I had the treasure, Link instead pulled up what looked like a green, moss-covered jar from the ocean. And then when that happened, I was, like, immediately attacked by a massive swarm of Octoroks. And Octoroks are, like, supposed to be never found on Southern Triangle Island. So I think it's some kind of weird, very rare thing that can happen in the game that's like a randomly generated kind of thing, kind of like a shiny Pokemon. Wait, did Fishman seriously not take my bait? I threw it right to him. Okay, come on. What? There is something seriously wrong with this Fishman. Come on, just eat the bait. Eat the bait, Fishman! Eat the bait! Thank you. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, this seems really rare because I've never seen anyone mention it, and it only ever happened to me on one playthrough. The first time I played the game, actually. It was really, really strange. I've never seen it mentioned anywhere else, so if it has happened to you, please respond. And, tell me if the same thing happened to you. Like, were you attacked by Octoroks? Because I think that's supposed to be some sort of effect that happens when you pull up that pot. In any case, it's really rare, and very strange, and just one of the strange things about this game. Anyway, from here you can see that this island is called Angular Islands, that Fishman charted for us, and it is entirely made up of, well, cubes. The trick here is that a couple of these cubes are actually the same ones that usually appear in dungeons. Like, see how this one looks slightly different? It's very hard to tell, but it has a little emblem on it, and it means you can just pull them and push them. And so that's the key to getting through this island, is you need to find out which blocks you're able to move, and then move those blocks in order to proceed through the island. It's a pretty cool little mechanic. Very interesting island. And actually, if you remember the Great Fairy, who appeared, like, right before we went to Windfall Island to get the bombs from the pirates, well, apparently the Great Fairies were actually born on this island, according to the Nintendo Gallery. You might be wondering, well, how does a Nintendo Gallery tell you this stuff? Well, it's just when you give the guy color pictographs, he actually makes figurines for everything that you give him. So, like, for instance, if you gave him a color pictograph of Cyclos, he'd give you a little figurine of Cyclos that you could examine to see basically the character model, and also some interesting, like, information on it, kind of like a database. So anyway, you saw we got a piece of heart right there. Coupled with the one we got in the water, this is a whole half heart for this island, so it's pretty good. But anyway, I'm going to get ahead to the next one right now. Okay, we are in a new quadrant. This one houses 2-eye reef, if I remember correctly. You can't really do anything at the reefs until a certain point in the game because, simply put, there are cannons there that you're supposed to defeat, but they won't appear until after a certain point. So as it is, we kind of just have to pass by this area. But we're going to get it charted at least, so that'll be nice. And then there is something else to do in this quadrant, which is pretty special. But it might take me a little bit to find, so might skip ahead to it. Alright, Fishman, give us the chart. Thank you very much. There is a sea platform here also, but it is very rare among sea platforms in that even if you have bombs, you won't be able to get everything on it done. It actually requires a very interesting item to obtain everything on it. It's a little... I guess it's just a random detail. But the fact is, there's a sea platform here, and we're not going to visit it. Okay. Now, as you can tell, you can probably guess what I'm looking for. A flock of seagulls, as I usually do, in order to look for big octos. And I think, yeah, we found them. So we just have to sail generally in that direction, and we should come across the big octo itself before too long. For kind of rare enemies, we've actually run across quite a few of them. We got a 12-eye one on Tingle Island, a 6-eye one at Fire Mountain, and now you will see a very special case among big octos. And in fact, if there is one big octo that you should go after, it is this one. Yep, here it is. And also, because we might actually kill all the big octos in the ocean, I recommend that you take a color pictograph of one before you do that, because once they're defeated, they do not respawn, and there are only so many of them around. I think there are only like 6 big octos in existence. 6 or 7. So that's not very many, and we've already offed 2 of them, soon to be 3. So I'm just getting the picture done now. Once again, I'm not completing the Nintendo Gallery, but I thought I'd warn you. But anyway, this big octo really only has 4 eyes. It's actually the weakest one of them all, so it's easiest to defeat. But strangely, the prize you get is the best of all the big octos. It's very different. And so I highly recommend going after it, because it'll just be a big help to you in the game. Even though it is technically optional, there are some optional things that are just worth doing. There we go. See, it was super quick to defeat. And that takes care of that one. And you don't even have to pull up a treasure for this one, which makes it even easier, because pulling up those small treasures is kind of annoying because you can't see them in a chart. That's right, it has a Great Fairy inside. Weirdest prize ever. Yeah, it's really random. According to Fishman, the reason the Great Fairy gets out of the Big Octo is because the Big Octo actually ate the Great Fairy, which doesn't really make much sense, considering that Great Fairies are usually supposed to live in fairy fountains, and I don't know why this thing should be at 2-eye reef, because there isn't a fairy fountain here. But never mind all that, because logic does not apply to magic, especially double magic. This is one of the most useful upgrades in the game, because now you can use double the amount of magic, and a green potion or a blue potion will still refuel all of it in one shot. So that's basically an amazing upgrade, and we're going to sail to the next island west of here. Next episode, we're going to cut ahead to that quadrant, so see you then.